guys, for today's watch review we're going to be talking about my Citizen NY0040. So let's get right into it. Starting off with my favorite talking point, price. I bought this watch on Amazon for around $260. After taxes and shipping it came out to about $282. And that's about what you're going to expect to find on other retail sites. I think on Joma Shop you can find it for a little bit cheaper, but expect to pay in the mid 200s. Now let's just do a quick 360 so you can see what we're looking at here. I did remove the NATO band just so that way you could see the case back. Very boilerplate on the case back, but nothing wrong with that. Simple is always better. Now the NATO band does not come with the watch. It comes with a rubber or silicone type material. I don't like the feeling on my wrist because it's very grippy. It's more practical for actual divers, so that's why I swapped it out. And I apologize I don't have it with me. However, I will show you some pictures of what you should expect to get if you do order one. For dimensions, we're looking at a 42 millimeter case diameter, and then a thickness of 12 millimeters, and then a weight of 94 grams. So very reasonable dimensions here. I'm used to case thicknesses being around 13 to 15, and you wouldn't think that a difference of 1 millimeter would be a lot, but there's just something so great about a 12 millimeter thick watch. It's very slim and in a very subtle way, so not too slim but just enough to where it's just very pleasing to the eye and on the wrist. Now let's do a quick rundown of the functions and features of this watch. Starting off, you've got a unidirectional 60 click bezel. Very satisfying. This is one of the things that I love most about Citizen bezels. With Seikos, their bezels are great. Their 120 click bezels are accurate and very smooth, but there's something so satisfying about a 60 click bezel. Each click is very pronounced, almost like it's clumsy, but that's why I like it. Going on the list, we've got a automatic movement. This comes with the Miyota 8203 movement, and that's a very accurate and proven movement. It's one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It came out in the 70s and it is still being used to this day. So obviously you're going to have movements that are more accurate but more expensive, and you can't really go wrong with a mid-range Miyota movement. It is hand winding with a screw down crown. However, this watch does not hack, and if you don't know what that means, it means that the second hand still ticks when you pull out the crown all the way to the second position to adjust the time. Some people, that's, a horrible thing. To me, I don't really care. The second hand's going to keep moving and it doesn't take me that long to set the time, but it's just something you should know. And for water resistance, we've got 20 bar or 200 meters of water resistance. This is a ISO certified dive watch, and you can't tell because conveniently the hour hand is right over it, but it says diver right there. And if you didn't know, if a watch has the word diver on the dial, that means that it is ISO certified. That's the only way that a company can have that branding on the dial. For ISO certification, that just means that they put it through a series of tests, kind of like testing band strength, pressure testing, and all that good stuff. So, that's always a good thing. And I don't know if this is true because I wasn't able to verify it, but apparently the NY0040 series of watches was used for some time in the Italian Navy. I guess some of their special forces were issued these watches, so that's also a very good thing. And I know that mil spec or military specification always gets a bad rap, but there's something very attractive about knowing that the watch that you have was used by the military. Something very alluring and attractive about that. So that's always a good selling point on this specific watch. So this timepiece is always compared to Seiko, specifically the SKX. And that begs the question, what is the difference? Why should you get this one vice a Seiko? Now, don't get me wrong, I am a huge fan of Seiko. In fact, most of my opinions on Seiko are always going to be very biased because they are probably one of my all-time favorite watch brands. And yet, with my undying love for Seiko, there's still something so attractive about the Citizen NY0040 and all of its other variants, and I can't really put my finger on it. Maybe it's the slight reflection off of that blue dial, or each of the applied indices and how it changes the face whichever angle you look at it. Or maybe it's the texturing on this bezel that makes it so easy to grasp, and that 60 click design is so fantastic. I think what it comes down to is Seikos, as much as I hate to say it, look manufactured. They have a very robotic appearance about them. And Citizens, some of their watches, I can say the same thing, but specifically for this one, it reminds me of an old wooden boat. It has these little things about it, little characteristics that give it so much charisma, and the fact that the dimensions are absolutely perfect. It's not too large, but not too small, very easy to read, and also it's very thin without coming off as too delicate. So it does look like an old sailor's watch. And plus that appeal of it having belonged to the Italian Navy one point in time adds to the overall charm. So I guess really what it boils down to is not really a matter of quality, because with Citizens or Seikos, you're going to get very similar levels of accuracy and reliability. Both brands have proven reputations that have lasted through several generations. I've concluded that it's really the subtle characteristics of it, the charm that it has, and the overall charisma that is really the selling point. And you will not be disappointed if you choose to invest in the NY0040. I highly recommend it. It has done nothing but put a smile on my face since the day that I bought it. And I will continue to wear this for years and years and years until I can pass it down to my children. So that's all I got to say for now. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helps you with your next watch purchase. Thank you for watching, and make sure to tune in for my next episode. All right, bye.